Well, it certainly does not seem to see my microphone. Well, you guys can probably hear me there. You'll have to let me know how the audio quality is, because I think that's using the one that's built into my mic. I don't see where the cable for my good mic went. How's everybody doing out in Chatland? I think we're transmitting audio now. Mad Mike is here. Mike, you'll have to let me know if I've got audio. I'm unsure at this point if I do or don't. What I do have is lots of single strands of copper wire on my desk. I see the mic bar going like this, so I think we're good, but perfect. How are you tonight? It's quiet so far. I think you might actually be the only person watching right now. So, yeah, welcome. Let's see how many people show up. I was planning to start going over the design for the new 3D printer I want to put together, which is going to be kind of made up as we go along, so. The other thing I can work on tonight too is got all the new Pi parts to build a newer, higher end RetroPie box. Or I don't know, I didn't see RetroPie under the launcher anymore. But we got some controllers, got a Pi power supply. Can always do a little screen share. Power supply is just keeping getting bigger and bigger for the Pis. This one's 5.1 volts at 5 amps. And I think the minimum for the Pi 5 is 4 amps. So, and then I got, this is our new Pi, and it came with this funky little cooler here. It's got a fan, all aluminum. It's got contact pads on the back, and then it's got at least, well, it's got the 2 contact points here. Little spring-loaded pins on there that go through the Pi to anchor it down. No, it's okay. Is he here? Kay was asking if I needed to get Bowser. Bowser's just hanging out under my chair like a little goober. He's a good boy. Just shy of a great boy. No, I'm just kidding. He's absolutely a great boy. I bought a new Pi 5 when they first launched, and then we ended up moving, and I don't think I ever used it for anything. I see it's got, I don't know how much this will come up, but there's a built-in fan connector on it. So it's not just coming off of the 5-volt pins anymore. Very nice. Crazy Crew 1213, welcome to the hangout. We're just waiting for people. Yeah, ask a question. Go ahead. What can we do for you? It is in fact a Pi 5. Yeah, that's the that's what she be. So they've added a battery connector, a UART connector. It's got the regular GPIO, and it's got a dedicated fan connector, so that's fun. We're just looking at this kit I bought that came with this nice little heatsink. I think these all have maybe pads on them, or pieces of plastic, but yeah, there you go. Oh, the little plastic one. I still got my original one up on the shelf here. I'll just point it there, and I don't have OBS loaded, so we'll see. Yeah, it's up there. Well, hello, Bo. He just jumped up on the desk. Hey. Hey, come here. I'm gonna knock my monitor off the desk, bud. Oof. Yep. That was the very first 3D printed arcade cabinet I ever designed. For those who haven't met Bowser, this is Bowser. He is as much of a nuisance as he is cute. We'll see if he wanders off or if he just decides to hang out here and keep knocking stuff over. Well, so I am working on a... I can try and see what parts, if I can get the part list together, get it updated for it. You've printed the parts, but you don't have the electronics yet? Is that what's going on? Or you have one built, or... Tell me where you're at, and then I will try and help as best I can. Okay, I will see what I can do. I will see if I can find the original listing for the screen and then find a proper one for it. There's no guarantees, unfortunately, that one's still available, because I think I did that one like 5 or 6 years ago, maybe longer. So, but I will do my best. If you want to fire me an email at printandplayj, I'll put it in chat. Just to remind me, because my memory isn't as good as it used to be, I will see what I can do to help. Printandplayj@gmail.com is my business email address. So, but I am planning on working on a new version of that cabinet as well. So if you're looking to print another one, there will be a new version with obviously a fresh bill of material with it and all that going with it, unless you're very set on printing that one. So that is up to you. If you want me to help you update or get an updated list of material for that one, I'm happy to do it. If you want to wait for the newer upgraded version, that'll be out at some point over the winter, and that'll obviously have a very fresh list because I'll have just done it. Oh, don't be sorry. I'm here to help. I do most of the design. I mean, I do almost all my design work because I want people to be able to enjoy the stuff. So I have another one that hasn't been released yet because it needs a couple of the kinks worked out. But here's the most recent one that I've done. This is the control panel is removable, so you can swap different ones into it. This one's for my buddy. It's Robotron 2084, and it's all multi-material printing, so the artwork's built into it. Everything's exactly 4 colors because that's the most colors I can print in one shot. But it also has the advantage of the screen being 4x3, so things look proper on it, and you don't lose screen real estate. Oh, and it has like it just takes 110 volts in. It's got that, and the back or the bottom's got a subwoofer on it, so it's got a little vibration in it when you're playing. It makes it feel a little more realistic. What size printer do you have? Because I'm trying to figure out what the smallest I should go for. I've been talking a bit with Joe, 3D Maker Noob, because he had printed one of my other designs, but it requires a 300 by 300 bed. So I don't know if bringing it down to 250 by 250 is good, or like 200. I think 150 by 150 might be a little too small. You'd have to do a lot of different parts and stuff like that, but that was definitely the goal. I think I don't even remember what printer I printed that on at this time, but I targeted a 200 by 200 bed for that one. And then I tried to put the parts where I tried to make it so that the parts where the different 3D printed parts met up would be like design. They would look like part of the design. You wouldn't just be gluing plastic parts together. So. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate that. I'm just a noob stumbling my way through literally everything. Quiet in here today. I wonder if people are getting ready to watch the Blue Jays game. Or I guess the Dodgers game, depending on where you're from. For me, it's the Blue Jays game. Now, before I, and like this is just me sort of experimenting with stuff. I have a bunch of orange pies, and they claim that the biggest card they will take is 32 gigs. And I just took that at face value and was like, okay, I'll just only put 32 gig cards in the maximum. I have a 256 gig one here that I would like to image with. Orange Pies use Retro Orange Pie. Let's see. Oh, if you've been trying through the comments on videos, my phone's often down a lot during the day, and I get way too many notifications, so I have been guilty in the past of like just missing stuff. So it's definitely not intentional. I'm trying not to ghost you. I will help however I can. This is the first Pi 5 that I've gotten into for emulation. It looks like RetroPie has now targeted Recalbox, I think. I'm going to launch the thing now. That's like the default one. RetroPie, I think a lot of people still use, but I thought I would try loading on Recalbox onto this one first and see what that's like. I think it's going to be a very similar experience. I think it still uses Emulation Station, and then you can load your cores and stuff onto it for whatever you want to emulate. But, yeah. Hey, Maker Viking, how are you doing? So yeah, I think sticking with the base loads that most people use for the Pi 5 is probably the way to go. Whether you're going to go RetroPie or Recalbox, it's probably going to work out for you just fine. Let's see, Orange Pi Lite. So I'm going to try and write this to my SD card. Oh, see, like I said, first Pi 5 that I've gotten into the emulation stuff. I wasn't aware that the retro. Maybe that's why, because I distinctly remember. Somebody correct me in chat if I'm wrong. I think RetroPie used to be one of the emulation OSs that would pop up with the Raspberry Pi disk imager, and now only Recalbox is listed there. And I was wondering why they dropped it, but that would make sense if it's not great. That's too bad. That is too bad. Gotta see what these controllers are like. Oh, good that you're back at it. I'm just getting back into the 3D printing of printers and whatnot myself, so I know how you feel. These feel okay. They look like a kind of like a, well, yeah, they're modeled pretty closely after the PlayStation 3 controller. There's an actual PlayStation 3 controller, the 6-axis. These guys are just little budgety guys. It's going to be like a little mini Core XY system, using a bunch of scrap parts that I have around. I'd considered just like doing a kit build of, you know, like there's lots of people that have designed them and uploaded them, but I decided I wanted to do one from scratch. Now these I picked because they showed that they had dongles to work with like any Windows computer or whatever, and there's no dongles here. Unless they fell out somewhere, which I don't think so. No dongles in here, right? No, that's just cables. It also only came, oh no, it came with 2 sets of these rubberized tips. I don't know that I have a solid recommendation. I use Fusion, but I don't know that that's the right way to recommend people that are just getting started going now, because every year they restrict the free version a little bit more, and so every year it's kind of a little less functional than it was the year before. So I have trouble saying to people, hey, why don't get into Fusion 360 right now, when there are options they could get into instead that would be potentially free forever, you know? It's a hard call. Okay, so I got this. I'm going to switch on my capture device, and we're going to see if the Orange Pi Lite will work with the 256 gig card I stuck into it before I reimage it to work with the Pi 5. Let's see if that does anything. Certainly looks like it's trying. Now, this gives us 256 gigs, but the Pis won't, or the Orange Pis won't run 256 gigs worth of games. Yeah, that's the thing. They haven't eliminated anything that I need from Fusion 360 yet, but I am aware of the fact that, like, since it becomes a little more limited every year, that me directing somebody to jump onto it right now may not be the best way to go. I haven't used Onshape. I've definitely seen, I've heard of the name Onshape. I haven't watched any tutorials or anything like that. So, but I mean, this is the right place to have conversations. People here would probably be happy to chat about it, and I'd love to hear other people's preferences too. So. Going to be a little Core XY design system. It's going to be, I'm aiming for like 6 inches in all directions. I want something tiny but easy to enclose so I can print some more exotic materials on it. And I'm kind of just trying to do it mostly with stuff that I have on hand. So I dug through all of my junk drawers for parts and stuff like that. And yeah. There's no reason to switch from a Raspberry Pi to an Orange Pi at this point. The Raspberry Pi outclasses it and is better supported all the way around. The reason I originally worked with Orange Pis is because there was a time Raspberry Pis were difficult to find, and also Orange Pis were like significantly cheaper. Orange Pis are, well, I guess that's one advantage. Orange Pis, depending on which model you go with, is a lot cheaper than a Raspberry Pi. So if you're standing up something that doesn't need the highest performance, yeah. 150 millimeters by 150 millimeters by 150 millimeters ish. Maybe 152. I think that's the relative math. You are right to call me out on that. Hey man, that's a good call. And in future arcade cabinets, even though I was like keeping the screen smaller, I did blow up the control panel. All my newer designs use 30 millimeters. Jerry Martin, how are you, bud? We're just hanging out for a little bit. We're talking about this 3D printer design. I don't know if we'll get into any of the design work tonight. I got a couple of things to get done regardless, and I figured we'd all hang out and see how it goes. The one thing is I did dig through my parts again on Monday. I have, because we just started discussing this a little bit before, maybe last stream. I missed a stream 2 weeks ago. I'm trying to do them at least every 2 weeks, but I was sick there. Spent a little bit of time at the hospital. Nothing major. Found out some stuff that explains stuff that I've had going on since I was a kid, so that's nice. And nothing big other than, answers. So we're back after that. But about a month ago, I think, when we were having the stream, we were discussing building this printer from scratch. And I didn't think I had linear rails for all the axes. I've subsequently found some. They're all 200 millimeters each, so we're gonna have to build it with the idea that you want to use the full travel of the rails. These might be bigger than 200. I don't have a measuring tape here. I want to use the full travel of the rails, so we'll allow for extra space and stuff off the ends, so that there's room for like the carriages to sit and we get as much of the full movement. Because 200 millimeters minus the carriage, is it still called the carriage on there? The bearing. Somebody correct me. Jerry, I think you were at the hospital last stream with that sinus infection, and I think you were just then at the end of this, or towards the end of the stream, you're on your way home. Correct me if I'm wrong there. Okay, so it looks like this Orange Pi has no problem with the 256 gigs. That looks absolutely fine. I think I've got everything muted, so hopefully I'm not blasting music for you guys. But I think knowing that works so that I can stop buying 32 gig cards when it's more cost effective to buy larger ones and be able to cram all the stuff in there. We should be here. Happy to chat more about the arcade stuff, man. So feel free to pop back in. You're feeling better too, Jerry? You're fully on the up and up. I've turned off the thing. It's still streaming. I guess the last. Oh, hold on. No, I just realized I was watching the stream from YouTube, which is obviously not obviously, but it's a bit time delayed. So imagine my surprise when I unplugged the Orange Pi, and everything stayed here. Now the only thing I was gonna say, the only thing I'm missing is a micro HDMI cable. But guess what? The camcorder that I usually do for the front view and it uses micro HDMI, so I can just swap it. But I'll blow myself up so I feel more important. Also, KB bought me this awesome new Star Trek: The Next Generation shirt. It's fantastic. It's covered in cat hair because of the bow incident at the beginning of the stream. But yeah, here we go. Yeah, I'm glad you're doing better. That's sinus infections are no joke. Like that, you must add the constant headache. I'm assuming that's pretty much par for the course with that. Nobody needs a migraine 24/7. Okay, so I guess we're gonna try recall box. We'll recall the recall box. I'm gonna. Do you guys want... I don't know if there's any advantage to sharing the screen right now. Unless you guys want to see what the Raspberry Pi imager looks like, but I feel like this is the type of place where everybody's probably already seen it. So emulation and game operating systems, yeah, Recalbox is the only one that's listed here, and it's Recalbox 9.2.3 Pulsar, 64-bit for Raspberry Pi 5. And it doesn't see my micro SD card, so we'll just take it out, plug it back in. There she goes. I'm glad you guys make time to hang out with me. I'm trying to get back into a lot of the more 3D printing stuff. I've been doing projects for like little stuff around the house. I'm just looking for, where's the rest of that? Anybody here a Bob's Burgers fan? I'm just going to assume somebody is. So I've been working on kind of projects for next year as well. And I didn't design this one, I just printed it. This is a bird feeder. I can't see the top of it right now. Maybe it's fallen somewhere, but it says Bob's Birders on the back instead of Bob's Burgers, or on the top rather. But it's a really fun design. So there's a basket that goes in here and holds the bird seed. And a lot of the pictures of the person took of it after they printed it has like squirrels and stuff standing on here. So isn't that fun? Parts of it are PLA, parts of it are PETG. I might regret the PLA parts, but I don't think so. Yeah, I don't see the roof. I don't know what I did with it. It is kicking around. Oh, there it is. Bam. That's the roof. I'm going to actually reprint the roof. I'm going to make some modifications. It looks better on camera than it does in person, and it's not a design thing. The red blends into the yellow a little too much, so I want to redesign it to make this multicolor, because this is printed and then glued in. So I want to make it multicolor, and I want to put a black outline around the lettering, just so it shows up a little bit more. And I don't want the roof to be black. The black on the roof is, I find, too contrasty. What do you guys think? But where are we at? 99% written. Well, I guess I'm going to have to reach forward and get that cable. Pardon my butt. Come on. There we go. We're 99% written and it's just sitting there. Yeah, that's fair. So the top lid is PETG, because that was my thought process when I printed it, is that I'm going to do the roof in black. It's going to get heat drawn to it, but and I'll reprint it in PETG for whatever color I go with. But I don't think black is the right color. So. And I tried to print the colors, not complaining or throwing shade on the person that did the original one. Theirs turned out very nice. I tried to get the colors as matched up as possible, and I think they just went for the spirit of it, which is absolutely fine. So originally I saw a picture, I'm like, I'm going to design that from scratch, and then it turned out the person had released the design for free. So I was like, well, as much as I love doing my own design work, there's no reason that there's no reason why I can't just accept that somebody did a great job on it and do my own copy of it, you know, like print it myself instead of designing it from scratch. Okay, so I'm going to turn off the secondary. I've got two HDMI capture devices. I'm going to turn off the second one, and then we're going to shrink me down again. There's the test pattern from the other one. These HDMI capture devices that I'm using were like $8 or something like that on AliExpress. I have a Cam Link, which I think was like $300. That's I think it's by Elgato. For some reason, on my Windows 11 PC, it won't stream at more than 720p. No idea why. But that's where we're at. The only inconvenient part, I'll see if the cable's on. I'm using a 90-degree bend HDMI cable, and even in the far spot, it's kind of interfering with my USB-C placement. So. Oh, the fan spun up. I thought it wasn't working there for a second. It just took a second to kick. Let's see what we get. I'm gonna have to shrink myself down because I need to be able to read. Oh, is it just doing its thing? Is it just running already? I'm guessing it's doing its install. Guess we'll find out. Also, I apologize. When I'm watching the capture, I can't see chat. So, welcome back, crazy crew. I guess I should plug a controller into this. We're probably going to need that to get started, and then I'm going to see if I can get these guys to sync up. There's no instructions or anything with them, so unless. Scan with the transparency app. I'm going to go ahead and not scan any QR code that I just find randomly stuck to something. I wonder if these will work plugged in first. That would be very convenient. I guess what I can do is I can drag the stream over to my secondary monitor. Yeah, there we go. Oh, cool. A little group activity for the two of us. I like that. That way when I screw it up, you can tell me what I did wrong. Well, the controller works wired. I don't love the built-in theme. I mean, I do like the technical details, but I don't like the weird scrolling. Let's see, I'm assuming... So I know with RetroPie, there'd be a settings thing in here. I'll need to go through here and clear out a bunch of this stuff, because there's a bunch of stuff in here I don't use. Uncle Ron's 3D Pub. I almost accidentally added a letter to your name. That would have been embarrassing. Lots of storage. That's good. Controller settings. I'm just gonna hide myself for the moment. It's better for everybody. It is a James. It's a Mark. So let's see. Let's do paracontroller. Is this blasting music for you guys? I think I've got everything muted. I just want to make sure that it's not, in fact, blasting music. I don't know if either of these controllers... So basically it said put them in pairing mode or whatever. I don't know if I've got to, because like, so with RetroPie I would have to install something that's allowed for PlayStation 3 controller compatibility, and that doesn't seem to be happening right now. Let's see if I can charge up my actual controller. Yeah, there it shows it's plugged in, ready to play. Now I guess the other thing I could be doing is there's this thing that recently came out called Google, and you can type things into it and it gives you answers. So I could be doing a Google of Recall Box, you know, Raspberry Pi 5, PlayStation 3 controller.exe, you know, and see. I just realized, and I deserve it, like a slap on the wrist. I accidentally searched that in Bing. Bing's not banging, so. This says that you can connect a PlayStation 3 controller to it with USB, and then it should connect. So I've had issues too in the past with aftermarket PlayStation 3 controllers. So I'm assuming this is just... This thing's batteries are like my actual Sony PlayStation 3 controllers are so dead that yeah. Yeah, these did not pair in any way, shape, or form. So let's see. This will now, I'm assuming. Don't feed the AI. Yeah, this isn't. Oh. Oh, I see. Huh. Not overclocking. Boot settings. I hope so. I love retro achievements. I've got retro achievements set up on my Steam Deck. What's Tate settings? It's gonna turn out. Oh, hold on. Driver. Automatic. Okay. Is this the hotkey? That is the hotkey. I figured it out. I'm the world's greatest detective. Oh, really? You think it would pop up here and say, hey, you don't have Bluetooth enabled. I'm assuming that'd be under system settings, right? No? I'm just going to plug endlessly through here unless somebody spits me out the answer. This all seems fine. Just for the sake of argument, I'll be back in 1 second. I've got one of these guys here, the 8-bit do or 8-bit do, depending on how you like to pronounce it. But let's go ahead and do configure controller. We'll see if it finds it. Nope, that's not what I meant to do. I meant to do pair of Bluetooth controllers. Yeah, there, sees it now. So we know Bluetooth is working, and it just automatically paired with it. So that's good. We'll close that and we'll do a forget Bluetooth controllers. Apparently, it just went right back into pairing mode on the 8-bit DOE, so let's go ahead and switch that off. There. It's my fault. So Bluetooth works, that's good. Make sure that this is showing off. These controllers may just not work for this thing. It may, because they did list RetroPie and stuff as a thing, but if they're just straight up PlayStation 3 controllers and there's no ability to add PlayStation 3 controller support to Recalbox, then yeah, this may not work. That was specifically why I picked ones that had dongles, because I know that sometimes these guys aren't super duper compatible. But just to also test the theory, I'm gonna connect the Genuine article. We'll let it charge up for a little bit and see if it works. I'm curious to see how PlayStation support and stuff is going to be on this. Give her a little reboot. While I'm at it, I'm gonna double check to make sure that I didn't like order the wrong one, because you know, everybody makes mistakes from time to time. Ooh, that fan kicks off though. I like that they added actual fan support and control for it. Let's take a look. Yeah, I mean, so I don't see the dongles, but it's specifically less RetroPie control support. Well, I guess RetroPie. It's not saying Recalbox, but so it says to make this work the way you want to push the home button. I don't think this will be charged enough yet. That's fine. It says to plug this in like that, and then to push the button. I feel like there's a good chance this doesn't work. Because I'm going to do this and it's going to say it's been unplugged. I'm going to push the button, the lights are going to flash. We're going to do this, and we're going to go to controller settings. You configure or repair controllers. It's going to find nothing. I'm going to put it right on top of it so it's got all the chance in the world to work. Huh. Yeah, I think it's just because they're generic ones, and maybe they tossed the thing up there because it does technically work over USB if they're connected. But yeah, not so much for the wireless, which is the reason we picked those ones. So I'll have to go looking for different ones, and that can be later's problem though. Let's see. So first of all, I got to get this on my network. We can do that for sure. Probably. Let's go out of here. Let's go to network settings. We're going to do... I'm going to hide stuff. I'm being slightly paranoid, but I will choose to... Oh, I guess this is where it gets difficult, because I can't hide what I'm doing, and since I'm viewing it in the stream, I can't hide what I'm doing and still be able to view it, because I need to be able to see it in OBS. Huh. Well, we're going to enable Wi-Fi. Yeah, I need a screen that I can specifically plug it into. You know what? I do have a thought. Let me do this, and then I'll do this. And then I'm going to launch the built-in Windows 11 camera app, and I'm going to try and connect to 2 seconds. I've got this figured out, maybe. 5% chance that I got this figured out. I'm gonna disappear on you guys for a second. We're gonna figure this out. I'm pretty sure I can make this work. Okay, so I can see myself. Let's see if I can switch to... not that you guys can see anything that I'm doing, but just trying to see if I can specifically look for the device I'm looking for, because I'm hitting the button. It's hitting one that's not functioning right now. Let's go ahead and unplug that guy for the moment, and then we'll back out of here. gosh darn it. Okay, I will be back in 2 seconds. Okay, we should be back. I just disabled the streaming software for the moment while I connected to it. Wasn't expecting my IP address to be IPv6, but here we are. I'm not too concerned about you guys seeing my Wi-Fi connection name, but I certainly don't want to see the password. The password is open, or is plain text if you click on it there, so we won't do that. But it does say that I can connect to the box just with slash, I think it's just called recall box. I don't know what the default password is going to be for the file share on it. Oh, it's what you would expect. It's Pi for the username and Raspberry for the Pi for the username and Raspberry for the password. It's the old one. So let's see. I'm gonna toss a PlayStation 1 game in here. I just want to kind of see what the performance is like. Jackson was playing Mombazoo. Is that I don't never know if I get the pronunciation right, but it's a like French Canadian life simulator. I think that's the best way to describe it. That's what you'd call it, eh, Jackson? Anyways, it's a pretty fun game. They talk a lot about poutine in it. If you don't know what poutine is, it's a Canadian delicacy. Well, welcome back, Jerry. I apologize for you having to do that. I don't know which game to try on here of all the completely legal, legitimate ones I have. Let's try Hot Shots Golf 2. I'm dropping it in there now. It's copying with the bigger GBs. Anybody have emulation experience with the Raspberry Pi 5 here? I'm curious if you've had support for going like up to like GameCube or maybe Dreamcast. I think I tried Dreamcast on the Pi 4, and some stuff worked really well and other stuff not at all, or like barely at all. So I'm curious what your experiences are like, if anybody would like to share. Now we're gonna back out of here. Then, oh, I think if I do quit, I'll just do a... I am assuming, before I do this, I should see if it automatically updates, because one thing I know about at least all the versions of yeah, the PlayStation hasn't popped up here. One thing I know about RetroPie is that it wouldn't automatically pick up stuff. We'll give her a little reboot. She's toasty. We haven't even done anything major with it, and it's probably like 40-some degrees. We got to get you a better computer in your hand soon there, Jackson. Jackson is using my first generation i7. We're talking an i7 965 that's got an AMD RX 570 in it and 16 or 22 gigs of RAM. Let's see if Sony PlayStation is showing up now, shall we? Oh, I see PlayStation. Let's see how she runs. Oh. Yeah, I'm going to try it anyways, and we'll just see. I bet you it doesn't work. And yet... Oh, take a Dodge Challenger and give it its paces, Jack. Oh. I haven't played this game in years. It was a favorite of mine when I got on my first PlayStation. I don't even remember if I know how the controls work on it, so I guess we'll find out. I would say that's pretty decent PlayStation going. Oh, is it literally just a? Well, I didn't do so well on that one. I think there's definitely a delay. It's definitely the setup that's the problem and not me. That's better. $24 yards to go. Sadly, I'm even worse in real life at golf. Now, if memory serves, this here on the putt, I don't think you have to hit it twice. 21 feet. I thought the game maybe it's literally just power. Let's try that. That's a gimme. Yeah. If it wasn't for gimmies, I wouldn't sink anything. Okay, so PlayStation looks pretty good. We'll quit out of that. Jackson, you're a good nephew, and I appreciate it, but I'm not. I don't even think I'm passable at golf. Dreamcast. I don't even know if I have any Dreamcast games. I've got lots of like original ones. Sega Dreamcast. Let's see. It is in fact Recall Box. Yes. Tossing a game across now. I'll see how she goes. I am curious to see. I found a Dreamcast game. We'll toss on there. We'll see how well it works, assuming it copies, in a reasonable amount of time. I hate to brag, but when I golf, I have the highest scores, like untouchable. Nobody gets scores as high as I do. So. The only thing I can't say, because we underestimate, or I underestimate, 1 second. We underestimate how much sound impacts stuff. So the game looked like it was emulating. I'm gonna say the PlayStation 1 was emulating perfectly, but it looked like it was emulating perfectly. Sometimes I do that without sound, and I turn the sound on. The sound's got a break or stutter because it's losing like 1 or 2 frames per second, and that's just enough to break things up. I think Recall Box, in fact, I'm positive, Recall Box is just kind of an alternate distribution. It's still using Emulation Station, which is the same thing RetroPie uses. Yeah, we were talking earlier. Crazy Crew was saying that RetroPie support on the Raspberry Pi 5 is not great. You can't install RetroPie by it's not one of the default operating systems offered anymore in the Raspberry Pi Imager. Although, I remember it being one that was included. I don't know for sure that that's the case anymore. It's possible that I'm wrong. Yeah, so Crazy Crew was saying that that it's pretty buggy, that he did some testing with it and not... I'm assuming Crazy, I don't know anything about you. Crazy Crew was saying that they had done some testing with it and it was not great, so... and yeah, we got some generic PlayStation 3 controllers, and they won't connect wirelessly. They work wired, and they feel okay. They're light, and the edges aren't as smooth. It's not as refined a product as the actual PlayStation 3 controllers, but I think the two of them were $25, so hard to go wrong there. We're just about finished our copy, and then we'll give a little reboot. It is pretty easy to get into stuff like this. So I've got a game on there now. If we then hit start here, assuming this works the same way as it did with RetroPie, if we go to Scraper, you can go scrape from Screen Scraper. We'll tell it to do PlayStation 1 and only not scraped. And scrape options. Somewhere in here there's usually a way to say, hey, you decide on changes. Maybe not for here. But basically scrape now. And it should go and find a nice little picture to put in. If it finds it, it should. It's a little slow. So then if we go here, if it worked properly, see, you can see now it's got the box art in there. So Everybody's Golf 2, I don't know if... that's like the alternate name for it somewhere. Yeah, Hot Shots Golf 2 in North America. Everybody's Golf 2 elsewhere. So you can add, the little bit of polish. And also usually under UI settings there'll be the ability to download additional themes. Somewhere in here usually there's a way to download new themes. So you can make it look whatever you want. Often you can go get a theme that makes it look like one of the Nintendo or Super Nintendo classic boxes. But okay, let's give a little reboot. It was either this. I've got, I think, Sonic Adventure on here. It was either that or Crazy Taxi, but I know that Crazy Taxi runs well on most things that have the slightest amount of Dreamcast support. So. I've got all sorts of orange pies. We were discussing orange pies before, including I found this again when I was cleaning. So I have no idea where my Raspberry Pi, was it the 400? Is that what they called it? Ended up. But that didn't stop Orange Pi from releasing their absolutely knockoff copy of it. I think you should crash... a 1969 black Dodge Impala 2-door hardtop. So yeah, this is an all-in computer. It's not a keyboard. For those who don't know about the Raspberry Pi 400, I think it is. Raspberry Pi 400, whatever it is. So you can see you got HDMI, VGA, you got the SD card, USB ports. We got 3 USB ports on that, and the GPIO. So. As some of my British friends would say, nice little bit of kit that is. Okay, let's see if we have... I don't know if Dreamcast is just Dreamcast or Sega Dreamcast. Or if it's going to show up at all. There it is. I don't like this theme. I don't like the weird carousel thing where it's like it goes off and then comes back on, but we can fix that. Last time it said I needed a BIOS, I said, I don't need no BIOS. Seems to be very much the Japanese version. I'm just going to assume whatever the default option is just fine. That looks pretty smooth and clean, though. I don't know if Sonic is one of those games where it's like region set, or if it's like based on the console, because it might be a configuration option to switch it to English at this point, like not in the game, but in the settings for the emulator. I mean, we aren't doing anything yet, but it looks it looks ridiculous and smooth. I forgot how much setup this game had in it. Seeing if I've got anything else kicking around that would be... Oh, Rumble works. I just felt it shake. That's fun. Yeah, that computer you're using is basically a low-key space heater, my friend. I think so. I mean, I think that on Recall Box, it looks like they've got README files in every one of the directories for the stuff. I know that in RetroPie, if there's folders in there or files in there, it'll show the emulator. So I think I haven't tested yet. I will see if we can get rid of them. I think if I just delete the text files from there, that it should go away. This seems to be pretty smooth, I think. Playing anything through the capture card's not great, but, you know, we do what we can because we must. I don't know if I have to get up after them or I gotta wait for him to come down. If I'd waited 2 more seconds, I would have looked like I knew what I was doing. Okay, so let's quit out of that for now. That obviously works pretty decently. The next thing I want to do is see if we can get rid of some of the unwanted... Actually, it's probably going to be an option in here. Let's go back out. Let's do start options. Let's do... is there a... Probably under game settings. And is there somewhere I'm watching for? Oh, there's, yeah, I see the retro achievement things. I'm assuming that there's going to be somewhere in here that says like hide unused consoles or something like that. I wonder what HD mode is. Yeah, let's try. I'm gonna try and get rid of the Commodore 64 one, for example. Let's delete everything from there, and then we'll do a restart, and we'll see if Commodore 64 disappears. The stream's not going to be a long one tonight. I got to wrap up at 8 o'clock, but and we were supposed to. So we did do a little discussion around the 3D printer design. Mark, I don't know if you were here or if you're still here now. I did find linear rails for all the axes, as well as I've got a couple of 6x6, or 150 millimeter beds. So we're gonna aim for a 152 inches or 152 millimeters, at least in all the directions. I've got a handful of 200 millimeter linear rails. The body's going to be made out of aluminum extrusion that I've got left over from the Tronc X5S. It does look like the Commodore 64 disappeared. Let's try and get rid of the Amstrad. Because now I'm seeing that, I'm like, oh, was I just seeing the Amiga one? So let's... so you can, if your recall box is connected to your network, you should be able to just do like a / recall box, RECALBOX, not two L's on recall box, and enter in Pi as the username, Raspberry is the password, and from there you should be able to see the ROM list, and from there you can do your cleanup and stuff like that. Mine seems to be disconnected from the network at the moment for some reason. Yeah, so far I don't think any of these are empty. Dreamcast probably didn't show up until I put stuff in, so it's just a matter of going in and deleting the extra files that they've included. Hey, let's play some Crazy Taxi. Anybody that's played Crazy Taxi will testify that was a 100% spot-on impersonation. I'm pretty sure now that it's pretty sure that I'm using a Japanese console. So I guess I'm gonna have to Google switch language Dreamcast recall box. Not that it matters now. That definitely says. I need to change the BIOS settings inside. Hotkey plus B. Is that this one? Okay. In the BIOS. Let's do a restart. And see if we get to the BIOS menu. No, doesn't seem like that did anything at all. Let's just see how Crazy Taxi plays. I'll worry about this in the off season. Just go resume. Just to see how she plays, because we only got another 5 minutes left. Yeah, basically any files that are in the folder for the system you're trying to make disappear, you can get rid of them. I think as long as there's something there, it'll display it. Huh. Doesn't seem to want to move. Steering is definitely working. Interesting. Try it one more time just to be safe. Oh, you sent me a picture of your crash, did you? Yeah, you've got a few more years before you actually start driving, right? I'm just going to try loading it. I don't think it's going to make a difference. I think maybe it's a mapping issue or whatever. This is Axel. It's going to turn out there's like a start the car button. Yeah, she's no go. Let's see, menu. So yeah, it's supposed to be R for the accelerator. Let's type B. A for accelerator. Okay, let's try that. Let us try that. And in 3 minutes I gotta disappear. Shrink myself down there. I just realized I've been putting myself in the corner of the virtual screen versus the actual, the full projection thing, or the full display. This looks very smooth though. I think this is probably fine. I don't know what buttons break. Oh, probably that one. Let's go play some Crazy Taxi. How smooth does it look for you guys? Because sometimes the streaming software looks better on the stream out than it does on my actual machine. We're gonna get there, we're gonna get there. We don't have reverse, that's fine. We'll just drive forward until it's basically reverse. I wish I could make $450 in a single drive as a taxi driver. Oh, I guess the secret is you have to be a crazy taxi driver. The delay from when I tap the controls to when something actually responds is probably like a half a second, which is less than ideal when driving. Okay, well, I'm going to call that good, because you guys didn't come here to watch me play video games, probably. Oh, there's an update game list here. Cool, so you can add stuff and not have to reboot the box every time. I like that. Very cool. Okay, guys, so next time, now that this is up and running, next time we hang out, I will pull out all the parts, we'll start discussing it, and we'll, in Fusion 360, we'll start mocking up what this printer is going to look like. We're using an E3D hot end. So far, it's going to be the V6. It might be a Revo by the time we get there. We'll see what happens there. Linear rails on XYZ, probably a Core XY movement system. I haven't had a lot of success building one in the past, but it's okay because Buildermark's going to tell me everything I need to know, and he's going to like get me on the path to getting things up and working properly. So that's going to be good. But yeah, that's where we're at. I've got almost all the parts. Probably just need some fasteners. Oh, Mark, you'll be excited about this. I found a couple of these guys. I know they're not genuine, but they're ones that I've had kicking around for some reason. But a couple of wannabe VL touches, so that'll be good. Builder Mark's all about telling other people how to design and build a printer. I'm sure that's something he's looking forward to. Well, guys, I don't know if anybody learned anything. I hope you did. I'm anxious to see how this pie is going to perform. I don't know if I'll have time to do a video on it. This is a build I'm doing for a family member, so. But if the performance is good, I'm going to turn around and buy one for myself eventually. Get all my schmeckles together. And if that's the case, I'll do a video and I'll do a rundown to show how it handles different stuff. I might even include audio, so that might be nice, so you can hear how the games sound. All right, well, thanks everybody for hanging out. I appreciate you guys spending some time tonight. And hopefully some of you are going to go enjoy the World Series game that's starting in a couple of minutes, or I think it's maybe underway now. But I will see you guys all in the next week or two. If I wasn't doing something else, I would. But, hey, yeah, I mean, and I'm happy to, if you want to get into it later on, I'm happy to send you the files and sort of you can go through it and let me know what we can improve on. I'm not expecting this to be a ton better than other 3D printers that have been designed and stuff out there. I want to do one myself from scratch. Again, it's been a long time, and see what I can do with it. So, alrighty, guys. Hope you all have a great night. I will see you guys.